So, how would you describe the product development and design process?
Obsessive. For us, what Arc'teryx is about is that meticulous attention to what drives performance. It's the commitment to a vision of what a product's supposed to do, and the unwillingness to compromise that against anything else. So this ability to focus singularly on what product should be.
Design Center is more of an engineering lab than it is a design center. Most people in the Design Center aren't designers. That's because it takes a huge amount of people to take an idea and actually get it into production.
It's not a pristine design lab you'd think of. You get in here and it's a workshop for sure.
The design floor pretty much replicates our factory, so all the machinery that we have in our factory is available on the design floor for our designers to use.
It's a bit of a flurry of action every day. It spawns a lot of chaos and creativity, but I think there's some magic in the chaos that makes this place what it is.
In a pure deliverable sense, the goal of the Design Center is build the perfect prototype, build the perfect pattern, and build the perfect spec package. And so there's nothing left to chance, nothing left for discovery. We know what we've got. Now let's produce it.
I find it really fun to be, kind of the Q of the James Bond, where I can sit there and say, oh, okay, I can make one of those, I can make one of those. And I for sure go hardcore, no lunch, make one, and then we go find out whether it had any merit.
Our designers, they're always trying to make things better, make it lighter, faster, more efficient. And I think there's a selfish need there where so many of our designers play in the outdoors. They have this desire to create a better experience for themselves, and they can do that through the product they design.
We started climbing at a pretty young age, and I think having that knowledge helps us make decisions more easily because we're not putting ourselves in someone else's shoes. It's more so well, these are our shoes, so we build what we know.
The starting point and the end point for us is saying, how do we build products that design away from the need for a replacement or the replacement's replacement? How do you build those trusted pieces that people have adventures with and that they can count on to use season after season?
The Design Center, we don't expect anyone else to solve our problems. We want to solve them. So if we start with an idea, most ideas are not out of the blue ideas. They're not eureka moments. Most of the problems we work on, they're ongoing long-term projects that we've been working on for years.
It's absolutely imperative that if you have a good idea, you've got to prove it. Otherwise, the next stage, which is just to get people to believe in it and get it moving, has no grounds at all.
By the time we've gone through our design process and the consumer first sees it, can be as long as 3 years, but that consistency and quality and durability takes time.
I guess we're limited by the constraints we have in terms of what machines do we have, what machines do factories have. That's never held us back from developing new tools. But when we think, oh, we need a new tool to do something, sometimes we have to invent that tool. What goes with that is this idea that if this works, we're going to have to outfit our manufacturing with these same tools.
This is the Advanced R&D Tooling Shop. We handle anything from rapid prototyping of parts, testing of product, proving concepts. So we're a fully equipped machine shop that also has a secondary half of testing equipment. We have an entirely industrial shop in a clothing manufacturing facility. Most people don't realize that. They just think that, you stitch together the clothes, then it goes to market. But they have no idea that in the background, There's a whole bunch of guys running around building all the independent sets of tooling to do everything.
The guys in the shop, they are just an extension of design. We're dealing with technology that no one else is using, so you need tools. And so it's this persistent drive to make a better thing.
So say it's a designer has a new idea. What they could do is they can mock up samples. They can come down to us and we can take those samples and pull them apart. Every single option and version of itself that can be found will be tried and it will be tested. And if it's not stronger than the existing, it doesn't move forward. It gets changed until it is a better product.
That's the type of trouble you have when you have an idea that is outside the box and isn't proven. And I think you have to be immune to being frustrated by that in order to kind of carry on.
You're always working with uncertainty, so every day we come in not knowing if what we build is going to work really. There can be dark times when you feel like nothing is working, but the cool thing about being here is that there's so many people with decades of experience, and so if you're stuck, all you have to do is like do one lap of the office and you'll have like 12 new ideas.
There's been a lot of stuff that when you look back, geez, you idiots, there's never gonna work. Can't believe it. But yeah, no, we've had a few things work out. I think, it's a matter of time. Like when you have it in your hand and you've done the due diligence and it's looking really good, for that period of time, that's a great product or a perfect product. And then to improve on that is only inevitable.
I've always admired Arc'teryx for this. It's a company that its entire being was simply to make better product. It wasn't to stand up and jump up and down and say, hey, look at us. It was simply make the best product and people are going to find it. I think it's more to the point that we're about presence, we're not about noise.
From a design perspective, it's a good impetus for us to remember that we've always got to stay ahead. We have to keep in mind, like, what's that next way? What's that relentless attention to better?
It's like we believe in something that's worth doing, right? I guess there is no good design without a process of evolution behind it. It's a bold outlook on design and life, not to be afraid, just to go and try it. And I think that's kind of what Arc'teryx is about.